Let's now take a look at the utility engine. I'll turn off the main two engines so we can focus in on the utility engine. So in this utility engine, we get two noise generators that are using a sampler engine and also another oscillator section. All right, let's just focus on one of the noise generators. So as I said, it's a sample-based noise module. So that's what we're hearing right now. Since it's sample-based, we can adjust its tuning and also add key tracking. Now, a bit hard to hear this on broadband white noise, so let's swap out the sample with something else. And you can see here we have a huge collection of all kinds of noise. Let's try gray area. Now you can clearly hear how the tuning is affecting the sound. And since key tracking is on, playing different notes on the keyboard will change the pitch of the so-called noise. There are different options here for phase retrigger. So right now it's random, but it can also be reset on every time a new key is pressed. Not that obvious when you're using noise, but if you're using something that has more obvious pitch, let's try the sprinkle one. So the phase is random right now. But if I set it to key triggered mode, every time I press a new key, the phase is always reset. Alright, kind of subtle, but that's what that does. Loop mode is on, so as the sample reaches its end, it loops back. But if I turn that off, it just plays through once. And you can also choose how much of the sample you want to play. But when you turn on loop, it chooses to play the entire sample and you don't have the length option here. Alright, let's try out a different sample about transients. A bit hard to hear this, but this is the transient of a piano. Same here, a plectrum. Wood. Let's load it in and adjust the volume so you can really hear this. Unfortunately, you can't load in your own samples in here, but there are plenty to work with. Alright, so noise 2 is pretty much the same thing. So you get two of these, and then there's another oscillator. Now the idea of having another oscillator is to treat it kind of like a sub-oscillator. So maybe you have a main oscillator running in, let's say, engine 1 or engine 2, and then you can just have, let's say, a sine wave tone set an octave below, which it already is here by default. And that'll kind of fatten up the low end of a particular sound. You have the option to route it to any of the two filters, or you can click here and choose to send it to one of the two effects buses, or skip everything and just go directly to the output. Let's take a look at a quick practical example. I'll turn on the analog engine here. So that's how we can combine the sound of a sub-oscillator with the main engine. And you also notice how the sub-oscillator was not being affected by the filter. Alright, so fairly straightforward, the utility engine. In the next tutorial, we will check out the filter section.